let's welcome our first speaker for the today's section, who will be speaking on creating public goods, the missing link in your developer market. By name, John Fawole.
All right, so I'm John Fawole, and a couple of things about me. First of all, I'm very sure all of us here are engineers, so I think I'm in the right place. So I'm John Fawole. I lead the team at Blockchain Alpha. I'm more of a technical content creator, Solidity developer, and in my spare time, I work out and I fight taekwondo. Okay, so today I want to tell you something very. It's not fun. It's quite sad. So my friend broke up with his girlfriend, and who can probably give me ideas of why you think people break up? Not something deep. Don't give me cool stuff. Just something on the surface. Yeah, my chief. Billy. God bless you. Okay, they build you, right? Anybody else? So, to the main point, yeah, my friend, you know when you are an act of service guy. You go all out for your babe, you buy her stuff all the time, yada, 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 yada. You know, you use your school fees to finance her, stuff like that. You won't say it because you know the things you've done for love, but you can't say it outside. But yeah, so like, when was my guy's birthday, so his girlfriend said, you know, I'm the best gift you can have, so I not get gifts for you and stuff like that. But that's simply an illustration, and it's something I've noticed with most of us engineers. We love to take from the industry, and that's understandably good. You know, you apply for roles, you get them, freelance stuff, you get them, everything, you get them, and you're good, you're balling, you're fine. But beyond that, what would you say you have actually done for the industry? And that is simply why I'm here. I'm not really trying to talk about how you make money, even though you can give me money though, but. So yeah, it's time to think of creating value for the love of it. And the reason most of us are in Web3 today is because some people created good stuff for us to actually run with. And we also now we need to start thinking about what we'll actually do for developers to have good DevX or better DevX, or maybe for even users. If you are building on Solana here, I'm ideally an EVM guy. The very first time I was try writing Anchor, the DevX was somehow, even though I eventually got over it. But I was expecting someone who was actually more familiar with the ecosystem to probably build something that will be better for new people to learn stuff and everything. So the main point I'm trying to say is that we actually need to start thinking of creating good stuff. And there are a couple of companies I love that I think we can actually draw inspiration from. So the first one is Open Zeppelin. If you have ever used any OZ library in your contracts, can you wave your hands? Beautiful. I think if you're an EVM guy, you should really love OZ and love what you're doing. If you ever used Onebu two-step, Vault Wallet, they have a couple of very good ERC20, a couple of very good libraries that is just open source for people to use, and that has saved the industry from lots of hacks. Thank God we are engineers, so you are very much aware. If you read Rect regularly, you would have seen this stuff of hacks going on, black hat stuff. Now, OZ guys make things easier by giving us libraries to make things, to create, first of all, standard, and secondly, a kind of underlining security baseline for everyone to operate with. So you don't always have to write your ERC20 token from scratch and bother about security, have it audited. They already have a library of ERC20. You can just use into your stuff, and it makes building faster. So let's kind of learn from OZ. And another one is Paradigm. You know, the interesting thing about Paradigm is that it's actually a VC firm. So the way they're actually making money is by investing in companies. But then these guys will go all out to actually build stuff for everybody. If you use Foundry here, can you say hi? Okay, and that's just to show you what these guys have actually done. I'm not so strong with JavaScript, so when I came to Solidity, this Paradigm folks built Foundry for everyone to actually test Solidity with Solidity, and that was very mind-blowing. And they did not really stop at that. You know, the buzz is when you are creating stuff. At that very first instance, you will feel the buzz, everybody will be praising you. And it's not even a paid product anyway, so not like. But then, even after a year or two, they are still working on it. There is this guy on Twitter, I don't know if you follow him, Georgios. He's a Greek guy. He's the one working on Forge, on Foundry, by Paradigm. And they're always shipping very cool stuff that is helping developers, helps me as a person, and is helping everyone else in the industry. And now let's talk about ciphering. I should know ciphering now. The OG, God bless you. So, ciphering guys, they've been a blessing. I write contracts, but I'm not so confident of my security. And that's not good enough, especially by the time when I'm ready to launch real products. But these guys came up with something very fantastic. They identified that there is a knowledge gap in Web3. Almost everybody can write contracts. On the other hand, there are people who are very good with security, but it's very rare that you see people who are good at contract and also security at the same time. So for engineers, you can actually go there to learn security, and that makes it very, very beautiful. So when I logged to their website, I got to learn my Foundry. I thought I knew how to use Foundry till I encountered these guys. They are very, very good. Then I got to know fuzzing from them, invariant testing, stuff like that. And it's not just talk. They are giving you practical lessons to actually work with. So you should actually check them out if you haven't. It's on Twitter, Ciphering. And you know Patrick Collins, so he's the founder of Ciphering. And they are doing something very, very remarkable for the industry. So I'm almost done anyway. Now let's talk about Pascal and Michael. You should know Pascal on Twitter. Okay, I want to assume everyone uses Twitter anyway. But Pascal is this very cool dude in the EVM space, and he helps with mainly security too. But then he doesn't really charge. You know, you should know this guy, Zach, that helps with recovery. But Pascal is a more kind of technical guy. So he kind of creates tools for EVM developers. And in terms of communication and breaking things down, Pascal is also helping with that. All right. So same thing with Michael Amadi. He was working at OP Labs at a point, and I really enjoyed him. So what public good should you create? Honestly, that's up to you. If you see anywhere there is a gap, just step in and do something. Maybe a dev tool, maybe a consumer product. For example, now, I noticed that many people invest in stocks, whereas I believe if you invest more in crypto stuff, you actually make more money than stocks. That's my bias. And I'm actually hoping someone will just create something for that. And so if you feel you have any solution that you think people will benefit from, you don't actually need to make it a product that you make money from, just something for the love of it. For example, now, at the company where I work, we are working on a couple of things, including bank statement visualizer. Imagine, okay, if I ask you like now that, what do you spend money on so far in the last 6 months? You most likely might not be able to tell me factually. But we are building something for you to just see how much you spend money or how you spend money, say, on transport, stuff like that. It's simply a public good, and we are not charging for it when we launch. How can you ship? So learn to code. And thank God we are engineers here, so that makes it easier. If you are not an engineer and you want to fast track things, these 5 coding stuff are actually very good for building MVP. I wouldn't recommend you push to prod with them, but I think they're actually very good for MVP. So what's the main point of everything I'm saying? Beyond building stuff for the industry, beyond getting jobs, which most people like, start thinking of what you actually do in terms of developer tools and everything to make, in terms of products for developers and for general consumers. I'm wrapping up already. So, question time. Not like I can take question anyway, it's 15 minutes. So you might want to catch up with me on Twitter. Yeah, I tweet a lot, and thank you.